Here are 11 of my favorite leadership lessons from Tony Stark. 1. You have to evolve. Despite being a genius billionaire playboy and philanthropist, Tony Stark made plenty of mistakes throughout his cinematic journey. But, instead of harping on those mistakes, he learned from them in order to become a better superhero, teammate, and human being. It's why some have argued that Tony has the most dramatic character arc in the MCU. One example is how he's continually improving his suit. In Iron Man 2, his suit takes a beating from Whiplash, the antagonist of the film, thanks to his electric whips. In the Avengers, when Thor strikes the suit with lightning, it absorbs the energy and uses it against the Asgardian. As a leader, it's imperative that you learn from your past mistakes. I firmly believe learning to evolve comes from considering your past errors and is one of the best ways to continually improve yourself, so that you don't repeat the same mistakes over and over again. 2. Harness the power of anxiety and stress. Tony is in bad shape at the start of Iron Man 3. Can you blame him? It's not every day that you guide a nuclear weapon through a wormhole and fight an alien army. However, Tony was still able to channel his anxiety and stress into something positive by the end of the movie. It was pretty straightforward. He doesn't need a highly advanced suit of armor to be a superhero. There's a lot of stressful situations that keep us up at night, and we can't let them consume us. Instead, we need to take these negative feelings and use them to our advantage. Believe it or not, being a little uncomfortable can spark creativity, improve brain function, and motivate you to find solutions to problems. 3. Be socially responsible. Following the first Iron Man film, Tony decides to stop manufacturing weapons, much to the chagrin of Obadiah Stane. The reason? He saw firsthand the devastation that this technology was doing to the world. Tony wanted to use his tech for good instead, like creating sustainable energy. He also threw a couple of parties that looked like some amazing charity events. Being a socially responsible leader like Tony isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Employees and customers want to work with companies that are socially and environmentally responsible. Giving back to the community is a surefire way to enhance soft skills, like communication, and be exposed to new opportunities. 4. It's all right to spend time alone. Think about when Tony did his best and most impressive work. It was when he was tinkering around in his workshop alone. Obviously, Mr. Stark isn't an introvert and loves being around others. At the same time, he knew the value of working in solitude because there aren't any distractions from interrupting you. Additionally, spending time alone sparks creativity, increases productivity, builds mental strength, and makes you more empathetic. All of these are desirable leadership traits to possess. 5. Surround yourself with the best people. Tony doesn't surround himself with just anyone. Besides Earth's mightiest heroes, he has the incredibly loyal Happy Hogan and supportive best friend, James Rhodes. There's also Pepper Potts, who is more than capable of taking over the day-to-day operations of Stark Industries. Great leaders are well aware that no matter how talented they are, they surround themselves with amazing people who have unique and diverse skills and perspectives. Even if you don't always agree with these people in everything, having them around will ultimately make you a stronger and more effective leader. 6. Be confident, but also know your limitations. If you've watched any of the MCU movies, then you know that Tony Stark doesn't lack confidence. Having a healthy ego isn't always a bad thing. The key, however, is knowing when you have to put your ego aside and listen to others. Although there were times when Tony let his ego get in the way, he also displayed an essential lesson about recognizing your limitations. He famously, as Captain America did, call it during the Battle of New York in the Avengers. Tony also implemented Hawkeye's combat strategies during the same fight scene. The best leaders are confident, but they're aware of their weaknesses, too. Because of this self-awareness, a leader is more than willing to seek the input of others to make better decisions. 7. Always have a way out. If there's one trait that I think a lot of us love about Iron Man, it's that he always has a plan A, B, and C. These various plans are what make him such an admirable foe to supervillains and members of the team. For instance, he designed the Hulkbuster armor just in case the big green rage monster lost control. Having a contingency plan allows you to make decisions faster. It also allows you to remain calm, relaxed, and collected during any situation. You won't be able to help anyone else if you become frazzled or in a panic, and you are more likely to injure someone gravely. You can end up making costly mistakes, even if the errors can't be seen. 8. Transparency is the key. At the end of the first film, Tony boldly states, "I am Iron Man." But, before this declaration, he shares with the public how Stark Industries is going to pivot away from making weapons. Talk about building trust with the public. On the flip side, in Age of Ultron, Tony secretly uses the Tesseract to construct Ultron. As a result of Tony's actions, the robot develops a mind of its own and eventually concludes with a huge battle called the Battle of Sokovia. This event created distrust among the Avengers and was one of the reasons for the Sokovia Accords, which played a significant role in Captain America: Civil War. 10. Encourage others to be better leaders. I enjoy the chemistry between Tony and Peter Parker. One of my favorite exchanges between them is when Spidey tells Tony, "I wanted to be like you." His response, "I wanted you to be better." As a leader, you want to mentor others, especially younger generations like Gen Z who are clamoring for advice. We all want them to achieve more than any of us can even imagine. Peter wanted to emulate Tony, but Tony didn't want the young hero to make the same mistakes he had. That's why he was so tough on him. Tony knew Peter had the potential to be a better hero and person than he himself is.